welcome to Something for the Weekend with me, Kathie Griffiths.
Me, Fiona Scott.
Me, Ellis Butcher.
And me, Stephen Day.
Yay, it's the weekend.
Hooray.
3 cheers.
Hurrah!
Hurrah!
Hey.
Another
Woo.
weekend. All right, Mr. Misery, Mr. Butcher, come on, it's the weekend. Where's your spirit?
Spirits.
Is it not a bit early for the spirits to start? I mean, it's not quite Friday afternoon yet.
I think we've had this discussion before, haven't we?
Yeah.
Which leads me on to my discovery of the week.
Go on.
Drinks. Making my own tea.
I do that every day, mate.
Yeah, but I'm not talking, your bog standard kind of tea bags here. I found some mint growing, some wild mint. So I've been making my own mint tea and it's been quite refreshing. Well, that stopped the conversation,
We're all
didn't
just
it?
thinking about that, Kathie. I'm just, I couldn't drink mint tea without a lamb chop beside it. Yeah.
Well, do you know what? It's really lovely. So I think this is part of my lockdown discovery that, I'm sort of, my cooking skills and my sort of making drink skills are improving quite drastically, actually, because...
It was from a pretty low base, though, wasn't it?
Exploding boiled eggs. Yeah, and do you know what? I had a chat with my young folks this morning and they said, Mum, talking about your cooking, we could tell you what ingredients you're going to have in your meal tonight without you even telling us what you're making. And it started with, can anyone guess?
Eggs.
No.
Beetroot?
No. Tinned tomatoes. Apparently, all the meals they can remember from their childhood contain tinned tomatoes.
Well, that's better than chips, I suppose.
Well, you see, I used to have this argument with my mum because I reckoned we got cold meat, beans and chips every night of the week. And it was always pork, chopped pork. And she said we didn't, but I'm sure that was it. That was our staple diet.
That sounds lovely, though.
Cold meat, beans and chips. I can't eat beans now because of that. Scared.
I've still not been forgiven for the time I sent them with cheddar cheese. I think it was cheddar cheese. Or was it brie? Brie and grape sandwiches to school. And I thought I was being quite adventurous and, shaking things up a bit. But
That sounds very posh.
Traumatised.
Do you know what? It's interesting that you should bring up cooking and brie, because I found out yesterday that online you can now buy dinner plates with Lionel Richie's face on. And underneath, in tiny writing, he's got, "Hello, is it me you're cooking for?"
Is it me you're cooking for? Or is it brie? Is it brie you're cooking for?
Well, is it? And you can also get a plate for crackers, which says, with Lionel Richie's face on, which says, "Is it brie you're looking for?" Or you can get a cup, which says, "Is it tea you're looking for?" Check them out online. Honestly, you can buy dinner plates with Lionel Richie's face on.
Is that your way of telling us you're a Lionel Richie fan, Ellis?
I'm dancing on the ceiling as we speak.
Makes a change from climbing those walls.
I'm feeling it's a very niche market and dinner set that you would buy.
I would love a dinner plate with Lionel Richie's face on. Hello, is it me you're cooking for? Imagine serving someone a meal and they didn't know. And as they went through the meal and started to eat it, Lionel Richie's face appeared. I just think that's fantastic. Sorry.
I don't know about everyone else's, but I'm not going round to Ellis's for tea anytime soon.
No.
You're not allowed to.
That's
You've got
true.
to
It's
stay
true.
within your own household.
But back to food, Kathie. Now
Yeah.
that I think about it, I'm thinking back to last week's conversation. Please let us know what you did with your beetroot.
I made beetroot soup, and it was all right. The colour was fabulous. The colour was fabulous. The taste was beetroot with veg stock, basically. So wasn't the wildest of soups and combinations I've made. However, I did make cauliflower soup, which was slightly better, but I have got an injury from that because it turned into like a bubbling pot. It was like Vesuvius, and there was like big sort of dollops of cauliflower puree sort of flying everywhere, and one landed on my wrist. So I've got a scar you see, from my cooking injury to do with that. But it was okay. It was all right. Used the cauliflower up, quite tasty. Even put a little bit of cheese in there, so like cauliflower cheese soup.
Fiona. Fiona.
Yeah?
I tell you, somewhere else I'm not going for tea.
I tell you, there wasn't a tin of tomatoes in sight. Just cucumber. Cucumber. No, I've got a cucumber. Can you make cucumber soup?
Why would you want to?
You can. It's not impossible, but...
Right. Do you know what? That's what I'm going to do this weekend. I'm going to make cucumber soup. So tonight, moving away from food, it's Oban Vision night. So,
oh gosh, yeah.
I know. So I'm going to go online. I'm going to watch that tonight. So I'm getting quite excited about that.
Well, we'd been talking about putting together an Oban Times entry into that, but we got sidetracked by another activity. Ellis, what was that other activity?
We did, that's right. Regular listeners to this podcast will remember that there's a craze set up in the wake of lockdown, and it's called Spoonville, and it involves making characters out of wooden spoons that you've got in your kitchen drawer, colourful characters like Bart Simpson and Reese Witherspoon. And the challenge was laid down for us all, for all three of us last week by Mr. IT himself, Stephen Day. So we've all been very busy, haven't we, Fiona?
We certainly have, Ellis. 2 hours last night, 2 hours dressing up a wooden spoon.
I feel as though I've got a new friend now. Funny enough, she looks just like me.
Oh, that was part of Stevie's challenge. We had to make a effigy of ourselves. So yeah, there's some interesting spoons there.
Yours really does look like you, though, Fiona. It does. It does.
Is it the cross eyes, Kathie?
No.
Stevie, what have you got to say for yourself on this?
Well, I've got to say that although I laid down the challenge, apparently, which I don't remember, but although I laid it down 3 minutes before we started recording this, Ellis sent me his picture of the day through, and that made me realise that I should have done a spoon. So very, very quickly, I have an effigy of me, which you can see on the screen right now. Isn't it pretty?
Absolutely fantastic. It's a dead ringer.
Absolutely.
I can't tell the difference.
Does that mean we're a wooden spoon short in the office kitchen drawer now then, Stevie?
No. I had actually bought a spoon. I just hadn't done anything with it. I would have brought one from home if any had survived the clapping for the NHS, but we managed to lose 2 over the last few weeks.
So yeah, there's an idea for all you guys out there for over the weekend. If you've got any wooden spoons lying about the house, dress them up and send the photographs into us via our Facebook page. I would love to see what you can all come up with.
There's a Facebook page now called Spoonville International. So if anyone's a complete muddle as to what this is all about, get onto Facebook and look on Spoonville International, which shows that this craze sort of spread from Berkshire to Mull to Perth in Scotland to Wales to Australia. They are springing up everywhere. Spoons are taking over the world, people.
It's a great idea, but everyone of a certain age, guys, will remember that when we were little, we used to dress up dolly pegs, Kathie.
Oh, yeah. Oh, the little faces.
Yeah. We made clothes from toilet tissue.
Do you remember those like paper dolls? And you had to sort of cut them out, but then you had lots of different outfits that you used to have to cut out, and they had like little paper tags, and then you used to sort of fold the paper tags around the backs of the paper dolls.
That's right, I remember that, and I got in real trouble because I didn't have enough clothes for mine, so I started cutting out clothes from my mum's latest catalogue when we used to have catalogues.
Oh, yeah.
I remember catalogues.
I cut all the posh clothes out the catalogue to put in my paper dolly, and I wasn't flavour of the month for that. So.
Ellis, were you the man from CNA?
Not quite, no. But I do remember going up to my nana's house and her getting the, is it the Freemans, I think it was, the Freemans catalogue
It
out.
was K's we had.
K's, that's right.
K's catalogue.
K's as well. And you'd sort of go through it like in November and pick things out, toys and things. And then Nana would be paying it off at like 55p for the rest of her life.
I was too busy coding. What does that tell you about my childhood?
Coding?
Yeah.
Coding?
Yeah. Programming.
Coding what?
Computers.
You were a hacker before hackers.
Oh, I wasn't a hacker. I was a programmer. I used to work on computers and look at them and see games and think, oh, I wonder how that works, and take them apart and have a look.
What was your first computer?
ZX Spectrum. We lived next door to the Timex factory in Dundee.
Wow.
It was great.
I'd never even heard of computers.
What do you
When I
mean?
was young.
Oh, when you were young.
Oh,
Not generally.
I still struggle with them now.
I had a VIC-20, which was like really, really, that was like the bottom end of any computer. I don't know if you remember those, Stevie.
I do.
A VIC-20.
But here's something for the weekend. Obviously, if you remember these things, but if you go online, you get lots of emulators now for old-style computers. So if you really hanker after looking at your first computer or playing the first game you ever encountered with it, go on and Google, say, ZX Spectrum and emulator, and you can actually get something up the screen, and it's like you were transported back to 1982.
I'm doing it.
Wow.
I don't think I ever played a computer game. I don't think I've ever played a computer game, not even now. Not ever.
Kathie, we'll need to educate you.
I used to like Space Invaders that you got, the big stand-up ones. But I think that was the only one I've ever really paid much attention to.
There isn't a child in the world now, is there really, that will not have grown up with a computer experience? Isn't that strange?
Well, I would say maybe not
a child in the world,
a child in the UK, maybe.
Maybe in the Western world. Maybe in the Western world that has not grown up absolutely surrounded by living their life by computer.
Yep.
I don't know if that's depressing or not, really.
Well, it keeps me in a job.
I've got to say, hurrah, hurrah. No, I've got to say, during this time, social media, I have changed my opinion of it because I used to think it was quite invasive and full on. But I've been so grateful for it, being able to use it and keep in touch with family and friends. And, doing the WhatsApp family quizzes on a Saturday night, absolutely brilliant. It's really helped me feel still part of, the family and seeing them all. So, shout out to social media. There we go.
Yay, Facebook.
Yay, WhatsApp. What else? Twitter. So anyone else up to anything this weekend?
Well, I've actually discovered BBC Scotland through all this. I've just got a council telly. I don't have any of your fancy Netflix or Sky channels. Saturday nights for me at the moment were just dire. We were pulling our hair out. So I looked through the channels and caught BBC Scotland a couple of weeks ago, and it's absolutely fantastic. Loads of great stuff in there, great films. On the Saturday night, you always get a film. It's a Billy Connolly one this week, Down Among the Big Boys.
Oh, I love Billy Connolly.
Yeah, well, he's on twice on Saturday night, Kathie. He's on Who Do You Think You Are earlier on, and then I think it's about 10 o'clock this Down Among the Big Boys is on. So that looks great. And then in between that, we've got Kevin Bridges, What's the Story? So we're celebrating our Scottish comedians on BBC Scotland this weekend.
I remember I remember when I was a kid watching Whiskey Galore, the original one with Gordon Jackson in.
Oh, that's fantastic. I love that.
And then it was remade. I don't know if anyone I'm sure that you probably do know this, but
we got that a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, it was remade with the chap who plays Gregor Fisher, chap who plays Rhapsody Nesbitt. It was remade about I think 3 or 4 years ago, and the remake was really nice as well.
I still prefer the old one.
I prefer the old one.
Yeah.
Me too.
Do you remember Restless Natives as well? I love that. I bought that about 2 years ago because they reissued it. Restless Natives, about the two guys who decide to become armed robbers and rob tourism coaches in the Highlands on a motorbike. And it's all done in the kind of, 1980s, quite soft kind of, sort of robbery is fun almost. And I'm not selling it now, am I?
You are ideas for the weekends, folks. Grab yourselves a pair of motorbikes and off you go. Oh no, there's no tourist coaches to rob.
And remember, when you're robbing coaches this weekend, 2 meters, please.
That's a very small coach. Right.
Does anybody else have anything to say about their plans for the weekend or what they're going to watch?
Yeah,
or what they're going to do?
Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to walk the wrong way around the supermarket.
I got in trouble for that in Tesco. I actually got chased and told I was going the wrong way by a supervisor.
Yeah, I can well imagine it, because I just can't get my head around it at all. And what I've noticed as well, I thought it was because you end up sort of being guided round on a one-way system. You actually end up clocking up quite a few miles if you forget something, which is what I always do. I always try and plan a visit with where things are in the store. But if I then forget to get an item, I can end up right down by the bread when I should be right down by the vegetables, and then I've got to renegotiate. And it's a bit like Pac-Man, really, for me.
But do you do that, Ellis? Because do you not have a wee quick look about to see if anybody's looking and then run up?
Do you know what? I daren't anymore. You get some terrible looks from people.
You really do.
You do, don't you? It used to be such a pleasant experience going shopping and right, I'll go down that aisle and I'll go down this aisle, but not anymore.
No mooching allowed.
No, you must follow the arrows.
Make a list, Ellis. Make a list.
I do make a list. Come on.
Stick to it. Stick to it.
No, I get distracted too easily.
I would never have guessed.
The amount of times that I come back, the amount of times I shop and end up with stuff that I hadn't had on my list. That's how they make the money, isn't it? By those random purchases that you make by going off list. Or is it just me? It's just me.
That's happening more now, because when you get caught going the wrong way up an aisle, you just turn around and pretend you're getting something. So all these things end up in your basket that you didn't really want in the first place.
It's a one-way system, and I'm only going one way.
But we must remember all these things are in for a reason. Although we jest, it is important to try and stick to the rules as much as we can.
Absolutely.
Would you like to hear about some theatre?
Yes.
Oh, theatre, yeah.
My favourite place, National Theatre Live. We've got the Barbershop Chronicles. Now, I'd never heard of this, but I went and did a wee bit of research. It looks a fascinating production. It says newsroom, political platform, local hotspot, confession box, preacher pulpit and football stadium. For generations, African men have gathered in barbershops to discuss the world. These are the places where the banter can be barbed and the truth is always telling. Directed by Olivier Award-winning director Bijan Shabani, Barbershop Chronicles is a heartwarming, hilarious and insightful new play that leaps from a barbershop in Peckham to Johannesburg, Harare, Kampala, Lagos, Accra over the course of a single day, and that's available on the National Theatre page. It looks and sounds fantastic, so I would recommend giving that a go. But the big news, and this isn't for this weekend, guys, so you're going to have to wait. Well, do you know about Hamilton?
Yes.
Well, Hamilton has been filmed live on stage, the original Broadway cast.
Wow.
Now, it was going to be released in cinemas in 2021, but that's been brought forward and it's coming out on Disney Plus on the 3rd of July 2020. And Hamilton tells the story of forgotten American founding father Alexander Hamilton and his ascent out of poverty to power and the backdrop of the American War of Independence. It's a fantastic production. Now, don't be put off by people saying, oh, it's a hip-hop rap musical. It will change your mind about the style of music and clever storytelling, lyrics and themes. I guarantee you will love it and you'll learn an awful lot about American history.
My daughter Millie can sing along to that. She's got the CD from the show and I'm sure she knows all the words, honestly.
Well, I saw the show before lockdown in London at the end of January, and I would recommend that if you've got access to the music, listen to it first so you have a rough idea what's going on. But it's the kind of film and show that you'll want to see again and again to find out what you missed. There's so much going on. So, 3rd of July, folks, put it in your diary.
And that's on a Disney channel, did you say?
Disney Plus. I think it'll come to cinemas once lockdown is released, but they're desperate to get it out there.
Fiona, you can't watch that. You've only got a council telly.
Oh, no.
What is a council telly, by the way? Is it just, you mean just a normal one?
Just your very basic channel, Ellis.
That's what I would prefer, to be honest.
Yeah, have mine.
Too much choice. There's too much choice otherwise.
I normally agree with that, but because, I mean, Saturday nights on normal channels now are dire, that, you know, we're really searching. I think I might have to splash out at some point and
get a smart one.
It is a smart telly. It's just I haven't paid to put anything smart on it. I could if I so chose.
We'll do it for the 3rd of July because Hamilton, that'll be quite incredible to watch. Thanks for that, Stevie.
Sounds great. Stevie?
Stevie?
Sorry.
Don't be multitasking while I'm doing the podcast.
I got distracted by my spoon.
Staring into its eyes.
He's talking to his spoon.
Yeah, I am. Got a little microphone and everything.
Oh, bless.
I don't know if you noticed, but mine's got a little notepad and a pen.
I did. You had so much detail.
And it had a little NHS neckerchief.
Oh, I thought that was a face mask. I thought
I would have gagged you. I didn't get that. I thought someone's trying to keep him quiet.
No, that was his protective face mask. And if you look even closer around his neck, he's got a little NHS bandana. Well, there you go.
Put lots of thought into that. Well done, Ellis. If I had a gold star, I would give it to you now. There you go.
It's my Sistine Chapel, this.
Oh, that's how vain I am, because I was concentrating on getting my earrings on and my lippy.
And mine's got fresh seaweed in the hair. So there you go. All that thought we've put in. Well, we hope you have lots of fun this weekend, folks out there, whether you're decorating spoons or tuning into Oban Vision on Rockfield's Facebook page tonight. Whatever you're doing, have a good one and have a safe one. We're always here at the Oban Times to hear your stories and see your pictures. If you want to contact us, you can get in touch by giving us a call on 01631 568 000. Email us at editor@obantimes.co.uk or message us on Facebook. You can also pick up your copies of the OT from the supermarkets, newsagents, petrol stations. All our stories are free to read online at the moment during the coronavirus crisis. And you can subscribe to the OT for 3 months for just £4.80. So keep in touch with us. We're here for you. We're all in this together. So goodbye from me, Kathie Griffiths.
Bye from me, Fiona Scott.
See you spoon. Have a nice weekend.
Oh, that's so bad, Alice.
And goodbye from me, Stephen Tay. You forgot me, Kathie. You forgot.
I put you back in the kitchen drawer. Sorry about that.
Stay safe, everyone.
Bye.